Hello, hello, hello!
Welcome to another episode of Ha? Ano Raw? The podcast. Kung saan pag-uusapan natin kung paano nga ba maging #DigiSmart. This time, we are your Digi Buddies.
I am Chino.
And I'm Yash.
And so, partner, how have you been doing lately?
Well, katatapos ng Halloween week. And hindi ako natutuwa kasi halos
Dahil?
ito nga, halos lahat na lang ng palabas sa TV, puro nakakatakot, puro horror stories. So, hindi ako nakatulog ng maayos, guys. Hype weekend yung time na yun.
Yeah, it was definitely horrifying. Lalo pat, yung gaya na sabi mo, it's spooky everywhere. Like, even when we dine outside, di ba may mga decorations na spiders and all. Yes, OA. Kaya nga naman. But ate, you know what's more scary and spooky?
Ano?
Pag na-scam ka.
Ay, talaga.
As
Talagang wala
in.
na mas nakakatakot pa. I mean, imagine kapag pagbukas mo ng banking app mo, no? Dati 200 pesos nakalagay. Ngayon, zero balance
Yun
na.
nga.
Pinaghirapan mo rin yun, no? And, speaking of scams, may na-receive tayong entry today from one of our listeners, si James Kennedy. Basahin natin. Sabi niya, I got scammed on Messenger via GCash for 540 pesos. Is filing a police report worth it?
Sige, let's continue. Let's continue reading his story. Sabi niya, I was new to buying and selling, and I got scammed while trying to buy cheap Mobile Legends Starlight parts for a raffle on TikTok Live. A seller with 36,000 followers offered them for 100 pesos each. Ang original price daw ate is around 300 pesos. So, as in, it's kind of sketchy dito pa lang ha. And he seemed trustworthy. Gawa nga doon ng platform na meron siya.
36k followers pa naman.
Yun nga naman din. And he even suggested, like, the seller daw suggested using a middleman but discouraged him from buying from him. Which is a case of what?
Classic manipulation. At ito na nga nangyari, guys.
Yes.
After chatting for a while, he convinced me to buy multiple cards and even an ML account. I paid via GCash. So, hindi lang yung card yung binili niya, guys. Pati yung ML account.
Yeah.
Imagine how much yung pinresyo for that. He said afterwards, RCV as in received. Then, guess what? Ano nangyari?
Pinadala sa kanya yung product.
Hindi. Wrong guest He blocked me.
Grabe yun.
I reported him on FB, Messenger, and GCash. FB did nothing, and GCash said I could file a police report to claim my money through their sending money protection, but no guarantees.
Kaya naman ang question ni sender, is filing a police report worth it for 540 pesos? And has anyone successfully recovered their money this way? Now, what are our thoughts here? Kasi ako, personally, hearing his story, it made me realize that there is no big or small amount and
Exactly.
Filing cases like this. Kumbaga, yun, walang malito, walang malaking halaga na nawala sa atin.
Totoo.
To be able to qualify if we think, if it's right for us to file a report about it. Then
Exactly. 540 pesos, malaking halaga na rin yun, especially for us students. And also, ang sad lang kasi when it comes to these cases, katulad nung kay Kuya, kay James Kennedy, sabi niya, walang masyadong nagawang FB and GCash to help him.
Yeah.
And, ayun nga, sad to say, parang naging charge to experience na lang to for
yun
him.
Nga. Ika nga natin, di ba? Sabi nga ni Taylor Swift, you're on your own, kid.
You're on your own,
Sa
kid.
case ni Kuya, yun nga, it's sad that he was left at his own disposal lang. Kaya, yun.
Totoo. Pero alam mo, ang dami ko ng red flags na napansin
Talaga?
sa entry niya.
Yeah.
Like, for example, yung upfront payment, hindi ba kadalasan dapat, for assurance, dapat yung seller, meron na on hand yung product before ka magbayad.
Yeah.
Kaso ang nangyari kay Kuya, given nga online, di ba? Payment first policy si seller. And sad to say, since sabi ni Kuya, ginagawa niya na to noon, siguro nagtiwala siya this time ulit. And sinend niya yung pera ng walang ano-ano. So, I think that's a lesson for us, guys, na maging mapanuri when it comes to those sellers who are requesting a payment first before they deliver their service or their product.
And I also observed with like most business establishments or yung mga sellers kahit online is that they do upfront payments as a form of like their safety lang din naman from buyers. But at the same time, as buyers, it's important for us also to be very picky and very responsible in doing like these transactions. Kasi again, we are also in the market lang din naman. And baka tayo na din ang target ng mga scammers and sellers.
Yes.
Alam mo din natin, may na-spot nga din ako din sa story niya na another red flag. Yung offer, it was too good to be true if you think about it.
I agree.
Diba? For 300 pesos, which was the original price, he only sells it for 100 pesos.
Kaya anong kita mo na?
Yun
ano
nga, diba?
Kita?
Wala siyang profit there. Kaya yun, at as in sketchy din siya. And another thing is that when he mentioned that he offered to have like another middleman for that.
True.
Yun, talaga
Bakit
nga
para
naman.
saan yun?
Diba? Parang it's kind of pointless lang din naman in his case. Pero, yun. Again, experience is the best teacher.
At
so,
ayun,
yun.
alam mo, isa pang parang usong ginagawa ng mga online scammers ngayon.
Ano
or
ate?
Scam na businesses, yung paghingi ng personal details natin. Like, ang dami kong relatives na biktima dyan. Lalo na kapag ka-close nila yung may sala, yung scammer. Like, hihingin nila yung personal address mo, yung phone number mo. Yung mga yun, guys, akala nyo siguro, usual information lang siya. But those are sensitive information. So you have to safekeep those details. Kasi pwede siyang gamitin ng mga scammers for illegal activities, whether that's online or something else.
Yeah, and definitely these are practices that shouldn't be normalized.
Exactly.
Kaya naman, it's important for us to always practice critical thinking, verification, and security awareness din naman.
Exactly.
And we can do this through protecting our wallets and our yun yung mga cards natin na ginamit.
Tama. Lalo na ngayon na halos lahat talaga ng online, ng transactions, are digitalized na. Like, we're going towards that path. We're moving towards that path. So, it's all the more important to ensure na napoproteksyonan natin yung pinaghirapan nating pera.
Yes.
Kasi ang sakit talaga mag-scam nga.
And through these simple practices na i-mention natin, mas ma-exercise natin yung digital advertising literacy natin.
Exactly.
First, it's important for us to cross-check and validate our transactions. Gaya nga na na-experience the seller, I think dun siya nag-collapse ng bahagya. But again, it was a learning curve for him. Yun, it's important for us to cross-check and validate like the sellers and the transactions that we deal with always, diba?
Tama ka dyan.
Right?
And additional na din, since gumagamit na nga tayo ng mga GCash, mga online banks, ganyan, importante rin na hindi lang password yung magsisilbing parang point of access ng kung sino sa account mo. Like, i-enable natin yung tinatawag nilang multi-factor authentication. That way, at least may additional layer of protection yung mga accounts natin. Lalo na yung mga banking apps natin, guys.
At ang examples natin for multi-function authentications, yung mga face IDs, biometrics natin, and in this way, gaya na sabi mo natin, could double secure our accounts. Yan. And last, we could report them sa mga authorities na meron tayo.
Kaya lumalakas yung loob ng mga yan dahil wala sa kanila or bihira na may nakukulong or nalilitis for scams, lalo na kung online.
Yun nga naman din. And yan, sa case ni Sander, yan, pwede niya to i-report sa Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group because this is a case of online scam at ang mga ibang cases pa na pwede natin i-report here ay ang hacking, identity theft, yung mga ganun cases lang din.
Andyan na, guys, yung contact information nila.
Yes, and it's displayed ngayon sa ating screen. Sa pa ba yung mga pwede nilang sumbungan ate whenever they encounter like this incident?
Well, yung nangyari nga kay Kuya dahil online siya, it actually categorizes as a cybercrime din. So, pwede rin natin ilapit or idulog yung case niya sa National Bureau of Investigation, Cybercrime Division.
And lastly naman, for cases like scam texts, calls and SIM card issues na-experience natin, yung mga bigla-bigla nagde-text, nag-send ng link, nagsasabi na nanalo tayo ng ganitong amount. Ayan, pwede natin sila isumbong sa National Telecommunications Commission. Yun.
Kaya kapag may nag-text sign yung DSWD na may 5K kayong ayuda, guys, i-report niyo na yung number na yun.
True. And yun, another thing that we must also open up like this topic too. Like, we should talk about this more often with our relatives and our peers, diba? Because again, we might not know, but definitely, baka vulnerable na rin sila here.
The vulnerable talaga. Lalo na yung mga kilala nating hindi naman ganun ka-tech savvy.
Yes.
Yung father ko, hindi pa siya masyadong familiar sa sistema ng GCash. So, medyo nasa-stress ako kapag...
Yes. Kapag medyo, mahirap siya i-explain, yes. Pero it could, and it could also be a form of our love language to like our relatives also when we teach them and immerse like these e-wallets and platforms to them.
Yes. Ika nga nila, sharing knowledge is caring.
Yes. And sharing is caring.
At ayan na nga mga Digitectives, sana namang nakakatakot na scam story ang naidulog sa atin ngayong hapon.
Truly, ate, nothing is more scary than being scammed, diba?
Agreed.
Kaya naman sa ating mga listeners, if you have other insights, questions, na gusto nyo i-share sa ating podcast, feel free to comment it below. And don't forget to follow all of our socials na naka-flash din sa ating screen. Again,
I'm Yash.
And I am Gino. Tandaan, think smart, scroll safe, and be a Digitective.
Maraming salamat sa pakikinood at hanggang sa muli.